I'm Melissa.
And I'm Jesse. And
this is the Reimagine Success podcast.
We're a husband and wife team who want to make a difference.
Keeping up with the Joneses can be exhausting, and we can often lose sight of what we are accomplishing.
We're here to reimagine success and to celebrate the steps it takes us to get there.
Big or small, we want to showcase success stories that will inspire, motivate, and help propel you towards greatness in your own life.
So come reimagine success with us, and let's go on this journey together.
Welcome back to another Thursday edition of Reimagine Success.
We have just come back off of Christmas and are enjoying this time together before New Year's. And in this meantime, we have a fantastic guest for you today.
Yes, we have Dr. Sarah Druckman. Woo! So Sarah is actually a human and animal chiropractor that owns her own practice where she uses a holistic approach to health, including running a yoga studio. Welcome, Sarah. We're so excited.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Wait, we just want to dive right in. So, Sarah, what is your story? How did you become a doctor? Why did you want to become a doctor?
So I started this mission a very long time ago. I was a vegetarian in high school. I always struggled with allergies and eczema and, just some mild health concerns, but they weren't major at that point in my life by any means. And when I went off to college, I moved to Detroit. I wanted to do the big city thing, and I studied fashion. I had a clothing company in my early 20s and ran a manufacturing facility in Detroit. And my health was getting I was getting really rashy from my eczema and just not feeling awesome. And I realized fashion wasn't really in alignment with my soul and what I needed to be doing. So I did a 180 and went back to do my pre-med. And I wasn't sure of what direction I was going to go with my pre-med, but, my own journey with health and wellness and fasting and cleansing and nutrition led me to the chiropractic field. I knew that I wanted to do something that supported not only my health and wellness, but some others as well.
That's awesome. It's really cool that you took stuff that you were dealing with and wanted to find a solution for that. And that therefore it led you into a career path to help other people that may be fighting the same challenges that you did.
Exactly.
So, how did you get into the holistic approach to medicine?
I always knew I didn't want to I didn't believe in this. The solution came in a pill or prescription. With my own health issues as a kid, they gave, I was on Benadryl all the time and steroids, and none of that fixed it. None of it healed me. So that's where I went down that journey to determine what would actually eliminate the symptoms and give me true health rather than covering up the symptoms with the prescription. So it really wasn't in alignment for me to become, I thought about becoming DO because they're a bit more holistic than an MD. And I really just wanted to become, chiropractic really spoke to me because with chiropractic, I could practice nutrition. I could work with animals if I wanted. I've always been an animal lover and a horse person. It just gave me the ability the license gave me the ability of a lot of freedom and flexibility to grow and evolve even within that profession.
So you're saying that pumping people full of drugs isn't the best way to heal the body?
Not in my experience.
Ours either.
Yeah, right.
Right? I mean, there's a time and a place. If I cut my arm off, please send me the doctor.
Right. You don't want to just try to do yoga with your arm then.
Well, I know that, food and our lifestyle and the way that we treat our bodies is a huge thing on how we are going to behave, So it's really how you treat your bodies and how you feed it and, how you care for yourself.
Yeah. And I've been gluten-free over 15 years now. And my father, actually, when I was a kid, my dad, he had these allergies, and he was an OG basically. He would only eat for a while broccoli and beef because everything, did his own elimination diet way before it was cool to do an elimination diet. You know, before you could buy cassava everything and gluten-free everything at the local store. My dad went down his own journey, and he was a big influence on my own health. And as a kid, he would literally eat his cereal with water instead of milk. I was like, ew, that's so nasty. Like, I was like, that's so gross.
I would just have to eat it dry or cut out cereal altogether. I don't know if I could do it with water.
Well, he knew dairy bothered him, but he didn't realize at that point it was the wheat and the gluten. So he'd taken like one step in the next direction before he figured out the whole piece of the puzzle, right? So,
right. And also, oat milk and almond milk and the things that we have today was not readily available back then.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm 40, I got into this 25 years ago now, and that none of the things that we have available were available back then.
Yeah, it's really come a long way, and a lot of people are really starting to wake up to a lot of these issues and not see them as what's the word that I should use? Maybe frou-frou. A lot of times in the past, like anybody who was more health conscious or alternative medicine conscious was considered kind of out there.
Or hippies.
Yeah, and even chiropractic work has often been seen as maybe whack job medicine stuff, that people don't really subscribe to. So why don't you give us a 2-minute pitch on why people should have chiropractic work done?
Well, so chiropractic care, in the mainstream, I would say people best recognize it as a solution for neck and back pain, right? Very obviously, it's been researched and proven to help with neck and back pain. But beyond that, the spinal column and your vertebrae that surround it, they control the nerves that come out and feed into every organ in the body. So when people see chiropractors as witch doctors that can help with anything, and it's this frou-frou, hippie approach, it's because we are able to remove interference with the nervous system and actually allow the nervous system to flow freely to every cell and organ and tissue within the body. So beyond aches and pains, and I'm great at helping with aches and pains. I love athletes and aches and pains, but there's so many benefits beyond that you see with removing stress and interference from the nervous system. And being an animal chiropractor, I see that day in and day out, the changes it makes immediately in animals more quickly than you see in a human typically.
So I know that you deal a lot with horses. How difficult was that to learn the process to do chiropractic on a horse? And how do you know exactly what that horse needs without, like we can tell you, we can say, hey, our neck hurts, our back hurts. How do you know what to do with a horse?
Yeah, it's so funny. I get asked that, like, people think it's the most interesting, craziest job in the world. Like every day, if I tell them I'm a horse chiropractor, like, I didn't even know that was a thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
I didn't
until we were with you and we found out.
I was having lunch today and I sat down next to this guy and he's like, what do you do? And I'm like, here we go. The owners are definitely the biggest help when it comes to working with an animal, because the majority of the animals that I work with and horses that I work with, they're performance animals. So they're athletes, they're little nuances people see, right? But some of the biggest signs and symptoms of a horse that may need an adjustment, they may develop behavioral changes. That's a big one. They might buck, they might nip, they've been be biting at themselves. Like they're trying to show you their discomfort. They also might drag a hind toe a little bit. They're just not picking up that leg really well. In horses, there's something called a lead. So when they're cantering to one direction, when they're running to one direction, they're supposed to be on a certain lead. They might flip-flop their leads and have a hard time maintaining that gait. So there's a lot of signs that they may exhibit that they may need chiropractic care. And at this point, my clientele, it's regulars, and the owners they're optimizing performance, and the vets refer to me. The vets send people my way. This horse looks really stiff. Can you come out? And it looks uneven. It's standing funny. Can you come out and work on it? So we work as a community.
I mean, that makes total sense. I would never know what to do with a horse.
Yeah, or any
Yeah,
animal for
right.
that instance, because you don't just treat horses, you treat
Dogs. and-
dogs. What other kind of animals would you say are in your resume?
So primarily I see dogs and horses. I see the occasional cat. I've adjusted, so my office manager rescues possums. So lately I've been adjusting her possums. I have worked on show cows or show cattle.
Wow.
On goats. I've worked on pigs.
Have you ever done a bunny?
True.
I was going to ask that.
I have. It's been a minute since I've done bunnies, but bunnies actually respond really well to chiropractic care. They're very sensitive, like with their gut and their eating, and just in general, they're pretty sensitive little creatures, and they usually respond really well to chiropractic.
That's awesome because we actually have 2 bunnies.
Yeah, I know. I know you have a bunny. You bring them over. I love bunnies. I like to just weird animals, honestly. If I could get in with a zoo, I would be very happy.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So I know you do a lot of meditation as well in your practice. And your whole approach is very holistic. So what has helped you achieve more success using meditation in your own personal life?
I would say centering, just the aspect of centering and grounding. I'm a Leo. I'm very fiery. I have ADD. I'm all over the place, and meditation allows me to create space in my mind and my body for success and for the step. If I don't slow down, it's very easy for me to get caught up in the day to day and to not slow down and not take that time for myself. And if I don't sit down and meditate or do yoga or sit in a quiet space for 5 minutes, then I don't give back to myself, and I don't create space for creativity and for new projects and for even prioritizing projects and goals and things that I'd like to accomplish.
I find it interesting, especially in alignment, see what I did there, with chiropractic work. Most people would say, yeah, it's important for my back to be aligned. It's important for my neck to be aligned correctly, but they don't think about your chakras. And this is something that I've just recently discovered in this past year through meditation and exploring this whole world, is that we have these chakras inside of us, and it's a part of who we are as people. And those have to be just as aligned as our physical properties, or else we'll be mentally out of whack, and it'll cause us trouble within our bodies. How much work do you do with the chakras and trying to balance those with people or even with yourself?
So in general, my chiropractic practice is very, I am very biomechanical, right? I am very muscle and joint oriented within my practice, but I am a yoga teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I am very aware of the chakras. I do preach on the chakras. I do speak to my clients about, there's other techniques in chiropractic that are very energy based and probably do more with chakras in general while the patient's on the table. I'm really good at musculoskeletal work.
Mm-hmm.
So I talk more about the chakras to people. I bring awareness, right? I have a sound bowl, a Tibetan singing bowl in my office. And I have done sound work with clients while they're on the table. But it is something in chiropractic, we have three major things that can affect the body and the nervous system and health. It's thoughts, traumas, and toxins. So I bring that into my practice every day with all of my patients. And my yoga practice and my yoga journey and chakras and energy have been one of the most important things to me as a healer to bring awareness to my clients with, because if you have a job that you hate, and you go there every day, and then you go home to your spouse that you're not crazy about every day, and you are just in this cycle, and your neck hurts every single day, no matter, I have patients like this. I've seen them forever, but
Mhm.
and I'm like, you got to make changes in your life, right?
Mhm.
You got like your neck pain is not, it's not your body. It's your metaphysical. It's your thoughts. It's your routine. It's all these things that it's this energy, this stagnation that's manifesting in your life that you aren't able to overcome because you're not making the changes to get that out of your life. So I can adjust you all day, every day. But if you're not relieving the source of, what's causing it, and it's not always a bad pillow or your job or a car accident, it can be 100% you blocking chakras, right? If your
Yeah.
root chakra, the base of the spine, if your root chakra is blocked and you don't have good energy flowing through there, then you have issues in your home and your finances and being grounded. So what do we need to change and correct to get you past that?
I love that you do that so much because that's what our life is about. It's about, you know, having everyone be successful and be successful in your own way and creating your journey and your own personal path and discovering who you are and why you're here and what is your purpose.
Yeah, and a lot of that leads back to how are you taking care of yourself, not
Mhm.
just physically, but mentally and emotionally and spiritually, and really putting in the work. And I get what you were saying. You can't really do that for people. You can crack their back and adjust their neck, but you can't make them do the work on the inside. People have to be willing to do that work themselves in order to really make changes in their lives. And so you can only really treat the symptoms and encourage them to treat the problems. So I would imagine that would maybe get frustrating watching people every day going through the same garbage because they refuse to make good strides in their emotional, physical, spiritual lives on their own.
Yes and no. I don't know. I honestly, everyone's on their own journey, right? And
Yeah.
I can encourage them, and I can, we don't have currently have a Reiki practitioner in my office, but we did, and I would, if I saw, if I was like, oh my gosh, you need some energy work, and I would send them down the hall to my Reiki practitioner. At this point, I have a great referral list and I have a great group of resources. And I definitely try to, there's energy workers I work with. We have the yoga studio, I have massage, we've got biohacking, I've got functional medicine doctors. I can point people in the right direction, right? That's all. As a healer, they say as a healer, it's not our job. I can't heal you. It's not my job to heal you, but I can give you the tools that you need to heal yourself.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's where if you're not making changes, it can, yes, maybe in all honesty, it can be a little frustrating.
Because you have them coming back over and over and over again. You're like, just fix yourself.
Are you even listening?
We call that job security.
That is true.
Hey, at least you're not poisoning them like Big Pharma does. So
Yeah, exactly. I'm not just writing a script that's going to interact with another script that's going to interact with another script.
Right.
right.
Cause more and more and more problems. So I know that you left the fashion world. I know you started off in that and pursued this life as a doctor. What sacrifices did you make? And more importantly, what sacrifices did it make on your relationships through becoming a doctor?
I mean, I went back to school. I think I started my pre-med when I was 28. I had a bachelor's degree and 2 minors. I don't think I ever really knew what I wanted to do with my life. So I studied it all. So I went back to school when I was 28. I had to do all my pre-med, and I actually started at pre-algebra just so I could get into all the science classes. And I wasn't sure. I was looking at acupuncture and oriental medicine. I was looking at becoming a veterinarian, osteopathic doctor, or chiropractor, basically. So I knew coming from fashion, I'd have to have a really good GPA in order to become a veterinarian or any sort of doctor. So I ended up with like a 3.9 something.
Nice.
But
Awesome.
I moved home when I was 28 for about a year and a half, and I did my pre-med, and then I moved down to Georgia and started chiropractic school. And I mean, it was definitely a long journey because I was, there's all these students in chiropractic school that are like 23 3 and they just went, it's just such a different life. I already had a life and I'm 30 and I'm back in school. And, you know, I look at it, you know, at this point as a business owner, and I'm investing, and, you know, you guys had my boyfriend Kyle on the show, but, you know, it's hard not to feel a little behind at some points, because it's like, man, if I had graduated, became a chiropractor at 25, I'd have a decade more, you know, I'd have all this experience under my belt already. So it was just a different path, you know, with relationships and everything too. I moved out of state from my family. I got married and divorced in chiropractic school, and shortly thereafter, I'm very committed to my business and being a doctor, and I love what I do. So it's a very different lifestyle than if I had been 22, went to school, graduated, met someone, got married, had some kids. You know, it's for a woman especially. I just saw a stat. I think like only 50 or 60% of females are practicing in chiropractic after 5 years.
Oh, wow.
So
wow.
most women don't last long term in chiropractic. So it's been a bit of a journey, but I you know, I've got the student loan debt and all that, but I wouldn't change it for anything. Like, it's the best decision I ever made.
And like you said earlier, you know, everyone has their own journey, and this is your journey. And we are a show about not keeping up with the Joneses. We are about what is best for your journey. And I want to take all of that off the table. I want to take having kids at a certain age, getting married at a certain age, going to college at a certain age, all of it off the table. It's whatever your journey is and wherever you want to see yourself go. And I want to celebrate you for just going back to school and doing now what you love to do. And I see you're so passionate, especially when you come home and you just finished with these horses, and you are just so passionate about what you do. And that is what life is about.
Agreed.
Yeah, especially starting at 28, going to med school. Most people would be like, there's no way I could just start going to med school at 28, but you did it, and you're being very successful at it. And you are definitely an inspiration to our listeners who might be wrestling with the fact that they might be stuck in a job where they're not super happy. They might be stuck doing something that they thought, well, I've already gone to college for this, so I guess I've got to keep doing this for the rest of my life. You don't. You literally have so many years left of your life at any age. Like, we're, you know, in our late 30s, early 40s area time frame, all of us. And literally, if we wanted to start another career today, we still have at least 20 more years in the workforce. And people forget that. They think that, oh, well, I've already started this and I'm already on my journey, and it'd be too much trouble to start over now. You got your entire life that you've already lived in the grown-up workforce to do all over again. You might as well be happy while you're doing it and pursue something that you love and that you're passionate about and that you can help people, or whatever it is that's in your heart, like you're doing. So we think that that's really awesome.
Thank you. I knew when I went into chiropractic, you know, I had a huge interest in nutrition, right? I didn't even know that I could do animal chiropractic until I was in school. So as soon as I found that out, I was like, well, that's awesome. Okay, I can do nutrition, check. I can do, I can work with animals, check, because I've been a horse person my whole life. So, and the nice thing about what I do is it can always evolve, and with any profession, right? Like, I may not adjust horses my entire life. It's very physical. It's hard work, right? I don't know if I'll do it when I'm 60 years old. I might be sitting on a beach doing something else, you know, and that's what I like about it, is that it can always evolve. Like, you don't have, and with anything, especially now with the internet, and, you know, that makes me sound 100, you know, when I was I graduated high school at 17. I started college right when I turned 18. I didn't have a clue what I should have had a gap year. And in like all reality, career paths were so, it's like, go to school and go get a job, right? Like, now there's kids on TikTok making more than, you know, 50-year-old surgeons.
Right. That is very true.
We tell our kids all the time, don't just go to school because you're supposed to. Like, if you need to take time off and figure that out before you waste
Mm-hmm.
tens of thousands of dollars, some schools hundreds of thousands of dollars, there's no reason to rush into that these days. And the college education that was pushed on our generations just doesn't hold up anymore in today's world, and it's not as necessary. Not saying people shouldn't go to college. Obviously, if you want to be a doctor, you need to go to college. But these kids who are just going to school and majoring in business because they don't know what else to do, that's not benefiting anybody.
Exactly.
And we always tell the kids just to do what they want to do as far as, whenever they are ready to do it. Like, your 20s are really to learn who you are. Your 30s are to grow into the person you are. And your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s is really to live as you are. And I feel like that, we need to make sure that everyone knows that there is no timeline.
I agree. My 20s, I had a blast. I was living in Detroit. I toured with a band.
What band?
I used to host fashion shows. Like, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What band did you tour with? I'm just curious.
So their name is Adult. It's a husband and wife post-punk electronic duo. And it's funny because I was a fan. I was like a fan, and then I met them. We became really, really, really good friends. And they were older than me a bit, not too much, but we joked they were my mom and dad. They're this married, stable couple, and I'm in Detroit, like, little wild thing. So, but I toured the U.S., Europe, and did Mexico City with them. So, that's an experience. How many people can say,
right,
sure, I don't have, maybe I didn't get married and have kids, and I don't have, $1 million in the bank, but I traveled the world, and I went to Europe for 6 weeks when I was 19 by myself, so it's like, I've done a lot within my 20s. Was all exploration and fun.
And success doesn't equal $1 million in the bank. Success equals your adventures, your experiences, everything wrapped into one. And that's what we really want to show on this show. That it doesn't matter about how much you have in your bank account. Success is how happy you are with your life.
Yeah, it's getting to the end of your life.
What's that?
I said it's getting to the end of your life and looking back and saying, you know what? I don't have regrets because I did the things that were in my mind and in my heart to do. And you know that you did what was best for you.
Exactly. You could work your whole life and be miserable and happy. You could be the monetarily richest person in the world and have no happiness to show for it. So,
right.
And then, when I did fashion in my 20s, I got to a point with it where I was at a turning point. It was like, okay, either I move to New York or LA and get a job that pays nothing and live in a city and do this like for someone else, or I really dig down into the business. And I just realized the lifestyle didn't suit me, and I didn't want it bad enough. I was like, this just it's not what I want, and I don't see it long term. And I also realized some of the, I was a little wild. I was like, if I continue on this path, I'm going to be 40 and who knows, right? Like, either I was going to be bartending or I was going to be very, 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 very successful. But I just knew that it wasn't resonating with me. And I had a rash, I had eczema. It's like, that is not success and happiness, my body was telling me, like, screaming at me not to make changes. So
Sarah, what successes stories do you have recently that you would like to share and celebrate?
Well, we just had a $50,000 month in business, which
congratulations.
That's kind of a milestone that I didn't think we'd hit it this year, and we did. So I was super excited to hit that. I expanded my office a year ago, and it's at a place now where it just feels I've got an amazing team and staff, and we're just like I'm really excited for next year. I just feel like we're in a great place. And to me right now, success is coming from a place of abundance and flow and not pushing and driving and grinding. Because I've been hustling for like years to get where I'm at. And now I'm at a place where I know I'm in a good place. And I'm not coming from, I still get stressed, but
we all do.
I'm coming from a place more of security and expertise, and I know, like, it's not scary. There's moments where it's been really scary, and I'm like, okay, we got this. Like, I'm good. You know, we've pivoted through COVID. We pivoted through staff changes. I had a partner. I lost a partner, and I just had my best month. You know, so I'm like, I'm good. Next year, I can say no to what doesn't work. Yes. I can fine tune, and I want to just enjoy it. Like that, I'm at the place, and that's success for me right now, is being able to enjoy my business and being able to enjoy where we're at and being grateful for where we're at and breathe. And then, you know, I'm doing some coaching programs, and I want to launch some new things in 2023. 2022, I have no aspirations, actually. And it feels really good. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, to me, that's success, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything. I can choose whatever I want right now.
That is wonderful. And that is success.
Yeah. It's freedom. Freedom is the ultimate success.
Yes.
Well, Sarah, so a lot of our listeners are from all over the country, all over the world. However, if you are in the Atlanta, Georgia area, specifically Alpharetta, you can find Sarah's practice. So why don't you give everybody a plug about your practice, your social media, where they could find you, how they could get in touch with you if they wanted to speak to you about anything they heard today.
Perfect. Yeah, my practice is Alpharetta Wellness Collective. It's in downtown Alpharetta, Georgia. We also have the Zen Den, is the yoga studio aspect. Both of those, we're online, of course, we're on the internet. I'm rebranding and relaunching the website, and probably by the end of January. We're really active on Instagram. That's probably where we do our best work. My personal Instagram is Dr. Sarah Druckman, all one word, Dr. Sarah Druckman. The practice is Alpharetta Wellness Collective. And then we have the Zen Den. So those are our Instagrams. I am launching my first retreat. It's just a weekend retreat in the North Georgia mountains, but that's in a few weeks. So really excited about that. I just put that up on Instagram today. I'm teaming up with another yoga teacher to do that. And, you know, hopefully, I was planning another retreat right before COVID hit in Costa Rica, yoga and surfing. But yeah, I think we got to start planning that again. So,
well, let us know when you plan that. We'll try to sign up for it. That sounds amazing.
I know. Together.
And we'll definitely, North Georgia mountain sounds cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be doing a couple a year now. You know, I just had to break the seal. That's how it goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just and let's then they'll go from there.
Yeah. Just got to get one under your belt, and then it'll just roll.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So great. And yeah, feel free if anyone wants to reach out to me. I'm happy to share any insight that I may have that could be helpful.
Yes, definitely. If you guys want to reach out to Sarah, please do. You have been such an amazing guest. We have learned so much, and I have chill bumps from all the inspiration that I have from you.
Yes, you are definitely our people.
Yes, I love it. Thank you.
So thank you so much for being here with us today, Sarah. And we will definitely bring you back on the show if you have any more success stories for next year.
Yes.
Perfect.
Thank you, Sarah. Wow, what a great interview. That really connected with me on so many different levels.
Oh, yeah, me too. Life is really a journey. And, you know, Sarah just goes to show that it doesn't matter the age, where you are in life. You can change your journey at any moment, no matter if you're stuck in a job, stuck in a relationship. Change your journey and make your success for yourself.
Right. The thing you should always ask yourself is, can I spend the next 20 years doing what I'm doing today and be happy? And if the answer is no, then why wait? Start right now, changing that situation, changing your life, and going after the things that make you the most happy.
Yes, change is hard, but if you step through it and you work through that distress, the other side is going to be so beautiful.
Yeah, you don't have to be a slave to the known. Jump into the unknown and find out all the good things on the other side.
Yes. So we are so excited that you tuned in, and we have another amazing episode coming out next Thursday. So for that, this is Reimagine Success signing off.
This has been a Creative Global Entertainment production.
Did you get motivated? Do you feel inspired?
Don't worry about keeping up with the Joneses anymore, and don't forget to celebrate your successes every single day. Thank you for taking this journey with us.
Follow us at Facebook and Instagram at Reimagine Success Pod. Email us at reimaginesuccesspod@gmail.com and let us know what your successes are.
New episodes every Thursday at reimaginesuccesspod.com.
So let's change our mindsets and reimagine success.